What's up, guys? Welcome back. Now we are going to dive into the pillars of becoming an elite passer. And that starts with our feet. When we say it starts with our feet, obviously we can't pass the ball with our feet, but we can use our feet to put ourselves in threatening positions on the field, but also allow us to get our hands free when we are passing. So the biggest common mistake that I see with younger kids, number one, is having our head up. When our feet are moving, we need to be looking at the defense. If we're staring at the goal, more often than not, defenders can sniff that out. And as you get older, defenders get better at timing those slides to be able to double team you. Our feet aren't moving at full speed the entire time that we're dodging. We're not gonna draw that slide in general. If you can't draw a slide, it's gonna become pretty hard to be an elite feeder. I look at a guy like Tom Schreiber, who I play with. Tom goes at 100 miles an hour, 24/7, draws a slide every time, and has some of the sickest vision that I've ever seen. The next pillar of becoming a good passer is really starting to know your personnel, knowing your teammates. To start, you need to know their strengths. What hand are they? How do they react in certain situations? Do they have a long pull on them? Do they have a short stick on them? Where do they like to shoot the ball on the field? If there's anything like that, that's good to know. And it's also good to know if there's some weaknesses, right? If you've got a guy who strictly keeps the stick in his left hand, I'm not gonna throw the ball to his right hand. If he's better at inside finishing than outside finishing, there are certain tendencies that you should know about your teammates. So that way when you're making these decisions, you kind of know what's gonna happen once the ball releases your stick. So I look at some guys that I've played with, two in particular that I've connected with a lot over the past few years. One who I played with in college, Mac O'Keefe, the NCAA's leading goal scorer. He was just so easy to play with because I throw the ball with my right hand, he's a lefty. Similar with Will Manny. Will Manny and I have connected on a lot of goals. Will is just so active off the ball, but him and Max share the same thing, and that's they just have such a quick release on the ball in that a defender can be covering them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not open. And when you start to play with guys like that you can trust and you can build that trust, things can start to get pretty special on the field. So now that we've got some of our pillars installed with passing, the last one that we're going to talk about today is playing the angles. And not just the angles with our stick, but the angles in our pursuit to dodge against our defender. So when I'm dodging against defenders, if I know that I'm going to get a slide, I don't want to dodge in a position where I can't make a feed and I can't shoot. So I try to initiate my dodge in threatening parts of the field. So mainly that is on the wing, that is in the low wing, and that's at X. For me, those are where I'm most comfortable. But when I'm dodging, I don't want to necessarily just explode all the way over here because then I may have ruined an opportunity for me to have a scoring chance. Okay, so I want to get close enough to the goal where I can come out of my dodge to score, but if they slide, I'm still able to pass. Now that's mainly on the wing. Now if we go over to X, all right, there's a few other things that kind of can come into play with passing. When I'm on the wing over there are some passes that I probably can't throw. And that's just because I'm playing with people who are right-handed and left-handed. But when I move to X, I can see everything. I can see the entire field, but more importantly, all of my teammates are facing the goal to be able to just step into the ball. So when I'm dodging here, I'm technically not facing the goal, but if I throw the ball inside, through, wherever, the opposing goalie has to turn from facing me at X, as well as the defense, to now facing upfield. And by that time, if you play with guys like Will Manny and Mac O'Keefe, by that time, the ball's already on top of them or in the net. This one was a fun one. Ryan Ambler does a phenomenal job making a play on this ball. So originally, part of the reason why I threw this, similar